stands for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good evening. Yeah, I covered morning, afternoon, and evening today. How's that? All right. That's right. There's a promise to every step. You just thought there were 9-step promises, huh? Not all promises are good. Not all consequences are bad. You want to see this half-size can turn into a regular size can? Watch. There you go. There we go. Put my fingers away. Now it looks regular size. Actually, it needs to be closer. There we go. Now it looks regular size. I'm just screwing around until people get here. Sorry, rewatchers, but it's the name of the game. If you watch me much, you know that I usually talk about something before I talk about something, and then I usually end with something entirely different. If you can keep up with me, man, then awesome. It's a Saturday night. It is July 20th, 2024. That is today's date. So we were at the birthday party earlier, and I forget who we were talking. I don't remember her name, so I'll just be honest. I don't remember her name, but we were like guessing the weather, and she was looking at her phone, and I caught it. I'm like, gosh, it feels like it's 86. And she goes, oh, wow. I'm like, I saw your phone. I even said it feels like. All right. That might be enough gabbing to get some people here. Let's do some introductions. There's a promise that goes with every step. Okay. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you spell my name backward, it is Noid. Remember the Noid from, what was it? It was Domino's Pizza. Avoid the Noid. Yeah. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. You have no idea how many times people clean carpets and listen to the shit that I do. So, yep. Go ahead and do whatever you need to do in order. Yeah, this is a listen in. It's good to have. I'm glad you're here. Because I kept, actually I should have waited till 7 to make sure you were in your next meeting. All right, let's get started. Okay. Now, a promise is a promise. Not all promises are good. Okay. Not all consequences are bad. Yeah, you guys probably missed my magic trick. I'm going to take this half-size can and turn it into a full-size can. Watch. There it is. All right. If you were 2, I might have gotten away with that. Step 1. Admitted we are powerless over alcohol, that our lives have become unmanageable. That is the promise. The promise is it. The promise of an alternative. When the alcoholic reaches a point when they admit defeat, they are seeking something better. Okay, so the promise here is actually the actual step. Okay, step 1 is the only step that is done perfectly. The only step that is done perfectly It is the only step that needs to be done perfectly. If it's not done perfectly, you won't get the end result. Okay. In this case, we got to get, in my case, I got to get rid of the hooch, man. Got to get rid of the alcohol. Right. So the alternative is what, not all of these are the best, just so you know, but they are there. So the second step, here's the promise here for the second step, is on page 60. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. So in this case, because what is a promise? Well, it's a solution. So God is the solution in this. Okay. And in this case, the promise is that if you reach out, no matter how small, you will get an answer if you're open-minded enough to listen. What is the principle behind step 2? I bet it's open-mindedness. But we're looking because, no, it's hope. It's hope. Open-mindedness is not a principle. Huh. I never put that two together, even though okay, here's another one. Here's the other promise on step 2. We have found much of heaven, and we have been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence, which we had not even dreamed. Pink cloud. That's usually the pink cloud. That's what I would call it. Not always. Not always. All right. There's some things that they put here too. One, there's the possibility beyond anything we dare to imagine. There's a sense of heaven as we live life in sobriety. We will experience a spiritual awakening. I'll go with experience, but awakening is different for me. Third step promises. Okay, third step is made a decision, turn our will and our lives over the care of God as we understood Him. Here are the third step promises. As we felt new power flow in, as we enjoyed peace of mind, as we discovered we could face life successfully, as we became conscious of His presence, we began to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, and the hereafter. We were reborn. By this point, we should have a little bit of time under our belt. And we can see that we've put our trust into a higher power. And we're starting to get, so all we did was place a little bit of trust in something. We open that door of willingness ever so slightly to let some of the sunlight of the Spirit come in. And when that happens, you will feel new power flow in. You know what else happened? You got a good night's sleep. You got a good night's sleep. Third step is pivotal. It's pivotal. You got to feel it. So, you know what else the promises are? They're engaged. They're engaged. Okay. Right? So, if you go through this, so let's say I change this promise to the pronouns, to I and me. As I felt new power flowed in, as I enjoyed peace of mind, as I discovered I could face life successfully. Now, if I'm reading that and my tummy is agreeing, it means it's happening or has happened. So the promises aren't just promises, they're a gauge. They can determine where you're at in the program. Yeah. Next, the next one with it, with this step, here's another third step promise. Being all powerful, He provided what we needed. Okay, another promise. In effect, sometimes a very great one was felt at once. That can't be a promise. Actually, no, that is true, right? Because I always wait for my sponsees at the third step to say something like, something feels different. I feel different. There's going to be a feeling there. And it's that right there, an effect. They feel the effect of doing that prayer. Okay. 4-step promises. If we have been thorough about our personal inventory, we have written down a lot. We have listed and analyzed our resentments. We have begun to comprehend their futility and their fatality. We have commenced to see their terrible destructiveness. These are promises because you're becoming aware of something, just like you became aware that God is doing for you what you could not do for yourself. Epiphanies, sudden thoughts of realizations. Okay. We begun to learn tolerance, patience, and goodwill toward all men, even our enemies, for we look on them as sick people. We have listed the people we have hurt by our conduct and are willing to straighten out the past if we can. Right? Let's some of the benefits here. We can begin to see change, and that's really what that is. Okay. So what is an amends? Changed behavior. Where do you change your behavior? Step 4 and 5. The amends, forgiveness, is done in 4 and 5. Forgiveness happens before an amends. Amends is an action. Sorry is a word. Amends, action, sorry, word. Okay? Before I would say, sorry, I won't do that again. Now I change it and I go, I see that I did this and I went and changed it before I came and said, see, I put the action first. This is a promise and it's got it. Okay. This is also where, if you hadn't figured it out already, that your disease was hurting everyone that you touched, not just people close to you, your co-workers, where you got your daily coffee, people that you meet everywhere. You were destroying whole communities all on your own. And to come to this realization is a big thing. Okay. And it's a promise. 5th step promises. This is the fun one. We can look the world in the eye. Here's another one for the 5th step promises that aren't in there. You can look at yourself in the mirror. This is usually where the obsession is left, or usually this is where they are aware that the obsession is left. It may have already left a month ago, but now they're aware of it. That is God consciousness. That to me, okay? We can be alone at perfect peace and ease. Not isolated, but like right here, I'm home alone and I'm okay. Okay? Before, man, my wife would be gone too long and I would get anxious. I would get separation anxiety. Okay? You went through that in the beginning. Why do I have so much anxiety? It's separation anxiety. It is it's not just dogs that go through it. Okay? No, people go through it all the time. I don't like being away from my wife for too long. I don't. Our fears fall from us. Oh. Why? Because you have courage now. Fear can't handle courage. Fear cannot handle courage. No. We may have had certain spiritual beliefs, but now we begin to have a spiritual experience. Okay? Why did you get an experience now? Because you put action into it. See, 4 and 5 will give you the spiritual experience. Okay? Now, I've been saying this a lot, but do you see how you're getting these things before you've done anything? All you did was admit to God that you were powerless over alcohol. You didn't do anything else. Okay? Because you did the work before. It's just that it seemed like it was all bad. Okay? But if you do your fourth and your fifth step, it's not bad anymore. Now it's gold. And it doesn't mean that there aren't feelings around it, but you're not that person. Okay. 6-step promises. Delay is dangerous and rebellion may be fatal. We promise you, you delay at this point. Okay. You delay on step 6. The penalty is sure and swift. That's what it says. Delay is dangerous and rebellion may be fatal. What is the rebellion? I will never give up this. No, never will I. I'm not willing. Okay, because willingness, let's double check that. I believe is step 6. Okay, that one I was right on. Okay, so we're going to use willingness. Okay, now it says this is an inverse promise. No, it's not an inverse promise. Not all promises are good. So, wrong word. So this is a promise. The promise is that hesitation and risk and rejection are risky reactions and may lead to failure. All right. Step 7 promises. By this time, in all probability, we have gained some measure of release from our more devastating handicaps. Character defects, same word. Okay? Of our grosser and of our more devastating handicaps. For me, anger. It was the first, and I still work on that one. I probably always will. I'm kind of a, you know what? I gotta stop saying I'm a reactive person. I say it all the time. I'm gonna quit saying that. I'm gonna see what happens. I wonder if I'll become less reactive. How about I would just say, because you can't say I am not a reactive person, because then you're just telling you that you're a reactive person, even though the word not is in there. That connotation is not going to, my brain doesn't do that. Now, I have to say what's right. Okay. I always take time before answering. That would be what I need to say to myself. Okay. We enjoy moments in which there is something like real peace of mind. One of the coolest fucking things. And for an alcoholic or an addict, somebody with addiction, does it say happiness? No. I would rather have peace of mind than happiness, because happiness comes with peace of mind. Okay? Don't just order the sandwich, order the darn meal. Okay? Unless you're in OA. I hope that was not in bad taste, Gary. Darn it. No. What is going on here? Everything just went weird. All right, give me a second here. I gotta go all the way back. Or all the way forward. All right, 4th step, 5th step, 6th step. All right. To those of us who have hereto known only excitement, depression, or anxiety, you cleaned your carpets that fast? Man, that's pretty quick. Depression or anxiety, in other words, to all of us, this newfound peace is a priceless gift. Eight-step promises. It is the beginning of our isolation from our fellows and from God. Now isolation is gone. Loneliness should be gone by this point. You're going to have times when you feel lonely. I do. But it's not that overwhelming like it used to be. Oh, dinner got fun. Okay. My wife's at the store. She likes to she lets me starve. I'm kidding. So 8-step promises. Why? Why is it the beginning of our isolation? Well, let's see. Step 8, brotherly love. That's why. Love is why. This is where we start to love appropriately. Emotional sobriety. This is emotional sobriety. 6, 7, or 8, 9 are pretty much our emotional sobriety. That's mostly what 6 and 7 is. But see, and it's all over the place. But I'm going to tell you something. Emotional sobriety was not a topic until the last 10, 15 years. I don't know why. Okay. 9th step promises. I bet you kind of know these ones. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. This will happen once. It will not happen again. You may be happy because of a different situation. Okay. I call this the warm blanket theory. Okay. It's the middle of winter and you wake up, and since your stepdad hates to turn on the heat because he grew up on a fucking farm, you're cold. Right? And you take the covers and you put them back on, and you don't want, and you get like this nice toasty warm, and you're just like, oh wow, that is phenomenal. Oh wow, I feel so comforted. But you would have never felt that way if your covers wouldn't have fallen off you. See, in order for you to help the people that you help now, you had to go through it. And the further you have gone down, not a challenge, the more this will happen. Further you've gone down, the further you can go up. Okay. Will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. I'm just searching, just making sure I don't have any regrets. Okay. Nor wish to shut the door. And I don't walk around morbidly telling my story all the time. Okay. This is an if and when thing. So I will bring up my story or parts of my story that might go with your story so that you know you're not alone. That's it. Okay. We're not going to trade war stories. Who is worse? Who is okay? I've heard a lot of fucking war stories that I will never top. Okay. This is key. When I hear people say my past doesn't define me, bullshit. That's actually the definition of you. Here's the cool thing, though. In step 5, we could look at ourselves in the mirror again. And every now and again, you can look in the mirror and go, hey, you know what? You're not that bad of a dude, man. That's it. You've forgiven yourself. You're the first person you need to forgive. We will comprehend the word serenity. We will actually know what it fucking means because now we can feel it. I'm not even going to try. We will know peace. There'll be days when there'll be all this noise all around you. You don't hear none of it. There's perfect peace, man. That is when no one can fuck with you. And no one will even try because they won't know how. You don't fuck with strong people, do you? Yeah. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. I think that's kind of opposite. The more shit you've gone through, the more you can help. Again, not a challenge. Okay, that doesn't mean go through hard shit or bad shit so that you can teach other people, because you may not live. Okay. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. This took me a long time. I still go through it. There are times when, that's why sometimes I come on here 3 times in a day, because I don't want to feel useless. I want to feel like I helped somebody. I want to feel like I helped somebody today. That's my success. That's what keeps me sober. Okay. Do I feel like I've helped somebody today? Yeah. So I figure I'd help another. No. I went to a 5:30 meeting. It was a closed LGBTQ, right? You would have never known. You would have never known. Half of us were straight. It didn't matter. And I personally, really, like, let's say I have a closed men's meeting and a girl comes walking in, we're going to vote and change the meeting to an open meeting. It's what we do, man. But, you list it. I'm not going to send somebody away. No. Now, in that men's meeting, you may hear shit you don't want to hear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Because we have found that the joy of giving has we don't expect rewards, but the rewards are tenfold. They always are. And I don't expect anything in return. Why? Because I already got it, remember? Remember, you get your promise, you get your gift before you do it. So when something good happens, you double down on God. Okay? So in Dr. Bob's Nightmare, when he says, I like to take out a little insurance against the next slip, that's it, right there. Self-seeking will slip away. This right here will tell me whether you've done the work or not. Okay? Because I will see you with a problem. And I will notice whether you think of yourself or you included everybody else in that solution. It tells me everything. Okay? So this is fake it till you make it doesn't mean try and fool everybody in the room. It means allow other people to help you with it until you make it yourself, okay? Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. This, I can tell you right now, is cognitive behavioral therapy right there. That is EMDR for me. Don't ask me what it stands for. I don't remember. The first word is eye directional movement retina. I just made that up. Okay. Our intentions have changed. See, I no longer have this. You remember, I don't know if all of you do, but growing up, Daffy Duck had these two. He'd have an angel and a devil sitting on his shoulder. Okay. And that's what it was like for me all the time. And the devil always won out. Okay. That's what it's like for me. I have these arguing ducks on my shoulders, but then I started to do the work and this stuff started to disappear. And now that they're not sitting on my shoulders, gabbing at me, I can see a whole new outlook on life. I'm not living in a fog because now I dream and I get a good night's sleep and I'm drinking water. I'm eating a little bit healthier. That'll change it. Just getting alcohol out of your system will actually do that. It's that it changes your cognitive that much, and it can do it permanently. I think this next one is probably the biggest one in general. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. I think they should combine those. Do I fear people? No. In fact, I stole a line from Live. I found that anxiety and fear were better friends, so I let them go. And that always stuck with me. He wrote that, and Kowalczyk wrote that when he was 19. God, how insightful, right? So fear. Okay. Now, here again, for me anyway, I don't feel like I get less fear. What I get is more courage. Okay. And I don't quite know how it works either, but I do whatever the hell. It's hard to explain. I get to do this all the time. I don't get paid. I don't take money for what I do. Okay. Well, a lot of it. There's some things I'm starting to charge for, but that's not anything that'll ever show up here. It's something else entirely. Okay. The deal is I help take care of God's children as much as I can, and God takes care of me. And it works. My wife's a caretaker. I'm getting ready to buy a 5-bedroom house. And I don't know how. Okay. And my plan is right now, I'm trying to kick the kids out. No, I'm just kidding. All right. They didn't say anything, Amber, so move on. Yeah. Don't count on them for that one. So we tried, and thank you. I do have a daughter. I'm going to see her shortly, so I'm going to bring it up. All right. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. If you are a parent, you love this one. If you're a parent, you love this one. Sucks because chat comes up and it doesn't. See, that's all I'm getting is that little. Keeps doing that. Did that to Ingrid earlier. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. And that's so cool. Okay. We'll suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Was it? Okay. I think they just don't, it probably didn't recognize it or something because they're stupid. So the 10th step promises. Ooh, here we are. Here we are being a recovered alcoholic. Yes, recovered. I'm a recovered alcoholic. You are probably a recovered alcoholic. It means you can use your brain again. It just means you're no longer insane. It means I'm well. Doesn't mean I got it. No. Doesn't mean I got it. I'll never actually get it. Okay. By this time, sanity will have returned. I have found that if people can get through the steps, but they will contend against this. I don't want to be. No, I'm not saying. They'll deny it. If you deny this, 11 and 12 ain't going to work. You got to accept the fact that you're now sane. Okay? Why do some of us do that? Because I was insane for so long, I know what it's like. I know how to handle myself insane. I don't when I'm sane. It's new. It's scary. Well, I don't want it sponsored. That means their lives are in my hands. How egotistical do you think you are? You're a guide. You're kind of like on the bus. If you look to the left, you can see Liam Neeson's house. No. That's what you are. But you get to have more fun doing it. All right. We will seldom be interested in liquor. This is where the hatred for liquor goes away. If you hate alcohol, you still have an alcoholic mind. Can't hate alcohol. Or you're going to go 12 steps and be like, yeah, I fucking hate alcohol. Alcoholics don't want to hear that. All right. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. Listen to this. We react sanely and normally, and we will find this has happened automatically. And is it my brother-in-law's today? He's a liquor salesperson. Okay. He also runs the local Al-Anon chapter. His mom was there too, right? I've known his mom. I think I've known his mom longer than he's been alive, actually. No. Okay. I was trying to remember how old he was. All right. We see that our new attitude towards liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. So what I was saying in that is there was liquor all over the place. I didn't even think about it till now. It just never occurred to me. Now I did have a problem because they had the coffee and I had to use a keg tap, and I didn't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. And the coffee was cold. That pissed me off. Why would you? If you want cold coffee, make it hot and then you go put ice in it. Jeebus. Just want what I want, right? It just comes. That's the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, nor are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. Then listen to this. Sanity will return. Normal responses will return. Interest in drinking will disappear, but it does surface. Okay. It's our attitude. Right? Listen to a newcomer. Everywhere you go, it's there, man. It's like everywhere I go, there's alcohol. No shit, it's always been that way. Of course, now you walk into, your local convenience store and there's, 6.0 Budweiser and wine in your face. The selections for normal drinks are gone. Okay. Be very careful on your drink selections. Some of those things have fucking alcohol in them. So be very careful. All right, here we are at the 11-step promises. I didn't think it was going to go this long, but this has been kind of fun, man. It's a little different. Much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration, and direction from him or her, who has all knowledge and power. Here we are. If we have carefully followed directions. Yay, good for them. I think that's awesome, actually. I think that's pretty cool. And stalwart. That means they stuck to their guns. Awesome. I would tell that owner, you're fucking awesome. Okay? So if you run into them, you tell them that Dion says they're fucking awesome. My wife's home with groceries, so I got to kind of finish this up. I'll help when I'm done on my live in a few minutes. All right. If we have carefully followed directions, we have begun to sense the flow of His Spirit into us. To some extent, we have become God conscious. We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense. It's the eye. It's right here. I'll talk about it much because it's a little more out there. But that's where my sixth sense comes from. It's the little eye. It's my third eye, man. Okay? This is the stuff that notice. It combines, what it does is it combines my brain, my heart, and my intuition all into one. So I can figure out what's going on around me. Okay? Your sixth sense is what also keeps you alive. Okay? But now we're aware. God conscious means I can look at something and see God in it. Like that. Okay. Here's another one. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. That's not how it's read in there. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on our spiritual condition. It doesn't, the maintenance isn't in there. That's adding words. Yeah, that's a promise. Every day, the grace of God comes in. All right. 12-step promises. It's longer than that. They didn't get it all. That doesn't belong there. Here it is. Life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover, to see them help others, to watch loneliness vanish. Okay. The 12 step promises are the third step promises for other people. The promise is you give it away, you can keep it. That's the promise. That's the 12 step promise. Okay. To see a fellowship grow up about you, to have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know you will not want to miss it. Frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is the bright spot of our lives. Now, here it said, practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics, which is also another promise. Okay? Nothing so much ensures immunity from drinking as intensive work with alcoholics. Now, anywhere in here, anywhere in the big book, does it say write a gratitude list? No. No, it says do practical experience. Now, that doesn't mean don't do gratitude lists. Of course, do them in the morning when they count. Okay? But in my experience, to get myself out of self-pity, to get myself out of excitement, okay? Because when I have all these overwhelming feelings, it's about me. So I've got to get out of me. And being grateful about my stuff doesn't work for me. It might make me, see what happens when you do that? What you're doing is you're sending signals to your brain. Now you're gonna feel good, but it's going to be temporary. It's not sustainable. It's not a solution. In order for my subconscious to work on my problems, I got to leave it alone. So, all right. Thanks for the idea on this one, God. Yeah, it's turned out well. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Amber, I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Have fun cleaning your carpets. Gary, good to see you. I hope you're doing well, brother. I love you. Peace out.